All right, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Pufferstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Let's get right into it. It turns out Joe Rogan is mad at Donald Trump. The thing is with Joe Rogan, I used to see him on Fear Factor and he seemed like a stand-up dude. I didn't know he fought UFC. He went to Carlos Mencia's concert and told him the joke you said belongs to this comedian right here. And then he also mentioned that he stole from other famous comics. I can't stand when people cheat. Listen, man, I'm not perfect. I do a good job of realizing that there's a chink in my armor because of anger, because of fear, and that's when evil creeps in. Joe Rogan blew Carlos Mencia up that he had stolen the jokes. When I seen him do that, I was like, what can I say? I'm like, the man is helping himself to stuff he didn't create.
All right, friends, let's talk about something that cuts right to the bone of this country. Joe Rogan is just now figuring out that Donald Trump might not be a good guy. Just now, after years of platforming him, after helping normalize him, after giving him a megaphone the size of the Grand Canyon, after helping nudge millions of young men toward the idea that billionaire Trump, was some kind of anti-establishment hero. And now he's disturbed. Now he's sickened because he read some newly released material tied to the Epstein case, because something in there finally hit him in the gut. Something ugly, something dark, something that made him say, wait a second, this isn't what I thought.
When I seen Trump, I thought no good. And when Donald Trump took office the first time, I started seeing more things, saying things, just things that a person who's going to be the leader of the country shouldn't say. All right, look, even if you say that the Rosie O'Donnell thing was before he was president, what about the news reporter on the airplane? And that was just a question. He didn't like when she asked it or what she asked. He called her piggy. The whole grab him by the private parts thing. Like, if I'm not smart enough to know that that's not the way you treat a lady, I wouldn't be fit to run the country. People have mothers, people have sisters, and people have daughters.
Roll a clip of Rogan having that moment.
It's crazy. The whole thing is crazy because, like, why have you protected people? So we know Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem sent the torture video to Epstein. This is in 2009. So Epstein was saying that. Where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video.
Jeez.
I am in China. I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. What the fuck, man? And why is his name redacted? Why would your name be redacted if you're not a victim? Like, this is what's crazy.
All right, now for everybody that said to me, I'll never have that moment where I'll wake up when it's concerning Trump. You're seeing it right now with a very important person. I don't hold people in those kind of regards, but to people, he's a very important person. He has a ton of money, and money matters to me to a certain degree, but I don't worship it. And there's other people out there that know not to worship it. But what you're seeing firsthand right now is him realizing, backing up, rooting, supporting, screaming Trump is a bad move. You got to be careful too, because they'll take your voice from you if you say something they don't like and the wrong person owns the corporation, and then they were like, oh man, I shouldn't have voted for him. I always thought Joe Rogan was a good dude. I just wondered if he would prove me wrong one day. He has that much influence. Celebrities are that powerful.
Crazy about all this. Like, how come you redact some people and you don't redact other people? Like, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this administration. It looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible.
It don't look terrible, Joe. It is terrible.
For Trump, when he was saying that none of this was real, this is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe he didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax.
But if you don't know, then you don't say that.
You got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims. You're not protecting the victim. So what are you doing?
Right.
And how come all this shit is not released? Like
you would think that all of it would just, like, get rid of all of it, just expel it all.
It's crazy. So this is the conspiracy that drives me the most crazy, because I don't like it.
Julian,
You can hear it. You can hear the crack in his voice. That moment of, wait, what have I been defending? And rock legend Jack White looked at that and said what a lot of people have been thinking. Slow, too slow. Jack White didn't whisper it. He didn't dance around it. He basically said, you helped put this man back in power, and now you're shocked? Now you're outraged? Where were you before?
They let this man hang around too long. You should have been seen it. You know, you're over here like, oh my God, like I'm having an epiphany. Why would he do this? This is what drives me crazy. What drives you crazy? You don't even know him. What drives you crazy? You know Trump? Maybe he knows him. You know him? You shouldn't be driven crazy because Trump is not a good person.
It's the story. But the bigger story isn't about two famous guys arguing. It's about America. It's about how we got here. We've known who Donald Trump is for a long time. We knew it when he ran on open racism. We knew it when he mocked the disabled. We knew it when he praised dictators. We knew it when he tried to overturn an election. We knew it when he told a violent mob to march on the Capitol. We knew it when judges and juries started holding him accountable in courtrooms across this country.
He literally tried to overturn an election.
None of that was hidden. So when Rogan says he's just now disturbed, a lot of people are asking, what the hell took you so long? There's a TikTok going viral mocking Rogan's late awakening. Here's a little piece of that.
You know, it's wild watching Joe Rogan come to the realization that Trump's a piece of shit. And him acting like he's decoded some secret conspiracy that only the brilliant could figure out, while everybody else is standing around him going, you're just now fucking realizing this, dumbass?
This is a good dude.
I mean, thank you for coming to the realization, but you're about 10 years late.
That reaction isn't just snark, it's frustration. It's people saying we've been sounding the alarm for years.
Yep.
And there's another creator who breaks down how this whole clash between Jack White and Rogan unfolded.
Jack White is calling out Joe Rogan for his recent comments regarding the Trump administration cover-up of the Epstein files and the hypocrisy surrounding what he had to say. So let's talk about it. Help me fight AI slop and follow along with Common Revolt, your source for alternative music. The White Stripes frontman wasted no time calling out Joe Rogan, as the podcast host recently criticized the Trump administration's cover-up and overall handling of the Epstein files, blasting the president's unfounded claims of it being a hoax, with Rogan saying it's no joke and a full-blown scandal. In an Instagram post, Jack wrote the following: "Yeah, no shit, Slow Joe. We all knew this back when you were helping Trump get elected. I kind of understand, though. You were busy giving out expert medical advice to millions with your advanced degree in uncle in garage lifting weights from UFC University." And Jack is right on the money with this one, as Trump's appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast was a huge part in the vote swinging in his favor in the 11th hour of the 2024 election. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famer has wasted no time calling out the Trump administration at all costs. And I've been reporting on these instances here in Common Revolt throughout it all. I hope he never stops. Jack White rules.
Now, here's why this matters. Jack White also went after Trump directly. He's called for impeachment. He said jail him. He's blasted the dehumanizing garbage that Trump puts out. So let's put Jack's post responding to that vile ape video and calling for Trump to be held accountable. White isn't.
Who does that? I hadn't seen this and can't believe this. I'm gonna refrain from demonstrating my full frustration and anger right now and just keep going.
Subtle. He's angry. He's raw. And whether you like his tone or not, he's clear about the stakes. This is not about personality. This is about democracy. When Rogan reacted to those Epstein-related revelations with shock, you could hear something cracking, like the spell was breaking. But millions of Americans have been screaming about Trump's character for nearly a decade. Women, journalists, veterans, judges, even members of Trump's own administration. They weren't slow. They were paying attention. So let's go back for a second to Rogan's original video and scroll through some of the comments underneath it. I want you to see how his own audience is reacting. That right there is part of the cultural shift. Even some of his listeners are saying, hey, wait a minute. How did you not see this before? And that's the heart of it. Normalization. Democracy doesn't usually die in one loud explosion. It dies slowly. It dies when powerful voices treat dangerous behavior like it's just another opinion. It dies when lies are framed as just asking questions. It dies when cruelty is packaged as strength. Joe Rogan didn't invent Trump, but he sure as hell helped launder him. He helped take a man who tried to break our election system and present him as just another guest, just another perspective, just a guy with some controversial ideas. That matters. When someone with that kind of reach shrugs at authoritarian behavior, it seeps into the culture. Young listeners think, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe the media is overreacting. Maybe this strongman stuff is actually kind of cool. And then one day the strongman actually grabs power and everything falls apart. So yes, it's good that Joe Rogan is disturbed.
You got to stop it in its tracks, man. Some people out there, you got to stop waiting for something to happen to you for you to finally believe. There's so many people out there that heard people talk about certain things and they were like, man, you're making more of it than it is. And then it happens to them.
Better than nothing. But being disturbed after helping pave the road is not the same as standing in the way before the damage is done. That's why Jack White's words hit so hard. He's not just insulting Rogan. He's holding up a mirror to an entire culture of influencers who flirted with authoritarianism because it got clicks, because they thought it was edgy, because it felt rebellious. Sorry. There's nothing rebellious about backing a wannabe strongman. The real rebellion in America right now, echoing the rebellion at the founding of our republic, is
defending democracy, not being scared to say what you feel, even if where you're at, it's not cool.
Defending the idea that no one is above accountability. If Rogan has truly had a wake-up call, then great. Let's see what he does with it. Let's see if he uses that giant platform to talk about the Constitution. Maybe he'll even read the Fourth Amendment out loud, to talk about corruption, to talk about why character matters in leadership.
Big shout out, sir. Thank you. Salute. A big shout out to Really American. You got to see people breaking down. There's people in Trump's administration that look like they can't even take this shit no more. There's a few that are that wicked that look like they're pretty much not phased. Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller. But like I said, man, karma exists, bro. Listen, man, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Spank Dog. Much love, real love. I'm out of here. One.